everybody doing? This is Clifton Raheem Bradley of the Underground Railroad Television Show. And what we're doing is we're doing a live show. A lot of people have asked me, do a live show, do a live show, do a live show. I said, you know what? I always told myself, you know what, when you're doing this, you should do what the people want you to do. You know, long as they're not telling you to do anything that's outrageous. They're telling you something to do. They're telling you to do something that's outrageous. You shouldn't do it. That's all I can really say to that. You know, but I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna send him the link because you know what you know what? You have to be. I'm not gonna say you have to be patient, but you know what? We're dealing with new technology, and you know what? And we're getting used to it. You know, because there's a digital divide. And once upon a time, I used to belong to that digital divide. Me, you know, and we used to belong to that digital divide. And things happen. Things happen. That's all I can really say. Things happen. And I'm sending something to my guest right now so he can get in. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about violence in the community and how it affects us. You know what? It affects you one way. It affects you one way or the other. Whether whether you wanna believe it or not. You know what? It's all type of things that are just going on. Okay, and I'm gonna attempt to send him the link again. But I am in Chicago, Illinois, doing a live stream, and I am using an app that it took time to get used to. It took time to get used to it, and now I'm working on I'm working on perfecting it. I'm working on making it much better. Been working on making it much better than what it was. It's what because you know what should have saw me when I first started with this application. Oh my God! You know what? It was like you know my guest. You know what? My co-host David Coss. One day I want to thank him if he's listening, if he ever gets the opportunity to see this. He's the one that told me just to be patient. Be patient, man. He said because he said thing is you're learning something that's new, and you know what may be simple to somebody else may be a learning curve to somebody else. So I'm gonna Mr. Antonio in and Mr. Antonio. I I see you, Mr. Antonio, but you know what? Your webcam is not on. Yeah, yeah. I see it's black. It is black, but you know what? I cannot see your picture. I see you. I see you at that site though, but you got to give you got to give your camera permission to um utilize this application. Because I see your name, Antonio McClendon. And for the audience that is looking at this, you know what? He is at another location, and the thing is, what he's doing is he's giving really um give his device the permission to utilize the camera. Okay, and that's what we waiting on, Mr. Antonio. We waiting on you. We waiting on you to give the camera the permission to utilize the device. Maybe you might have to do it again. Maybe you have to come out and come back in. Okay. Yeah, just clock out and then hit the link again and then just come back. Like okay, I know. I know. So do that, okay? All right. All right. So you know what his app his app is not working properly. I always wonder about stuff like I always wonder about stuff like this because you know what? It seems like sometimes when you are doing things for the betterment of the community to make things better, technology messes up. But see, I'm one of these individuals that believe that we are being watched. And you probably say, what do you mean, man? We are being watched. Yeah, by we are being watched by our government. Okay. And I'm gonna bring him back in. Okay. And
Black, huh?
okay.
Oh, there I go.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you, brother.
I see you.
So how you doing, Mr. Antonio?
I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed tonight. I can't hear you anymore.
I want to thank you for joining the broadcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
And it's indeed a blessing. Yeah, I'm getting echoes. I don't think I'm getting. Yeah, I'm getting echo. I think I know why. You put this in. Okay, that should be better.
Yeah.
First of all, Mr. Antonio, I want to thank you for accepting the invitation to come on the Underground Railroad not television show, internet show.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you know what? Can you tell the people something about yourself? And the title is we're gonna be talking about the gangs and how the young people can stay out of trouble and not go to the jail.
I'm a representative of growth and development. Um, my name is Antonio McClinton, and I'm just here to step up and do my part of being a productive and citizen and help whatever I can do to lend a hand or contribute to help with Mr. Larry Hoover to get him out of jail. Whatever I can do, like to show him in a light which shows that he's changed, you know. And that's what I have a purpose to right now to do all I can do to help him and everybody else like him.
Now, you know what? I would like to say that somebody out there that's probably living in another different region, they have no idea who Larry Hoover is. And give them some insight, information on who he is, and why you endear him and believe that you should help him. Wow. Tell us who he is.
Larry Hoover, Mr. Larry Hoover, is in our eyes our Nelson Mandela. You know, and he's a father to many with his teachings and the blueprint. And he used to be part of Gangster Disciple. Now he's growth and development. You know, he's changed.
What is gangster
He's
disciple?
changed.
What is gangster disciple for somebody that don't know?
What is Gangster Disciple?
Yeah.
It was a gang that was formed back then, originally to help the community and a way for people to help themselves to come through poverty, but it got out of hand and it got out of control when the powers that be took the leaders out of the community. You know what I'm saying? And it's right now a little bit too much out of hand. But he actually started the Gangster Disciples back then but it wasn't for the purpose that these young ones are using it for now. You know what I'm saying? And basically that's what it is. I'm pretty sure T touched a lot of it on when he talked with you about it. But it used to be a gang back in the day, but he's not. He's no longer part of that organization. He's growth and development, and we just young men and women trying to do the right thing, trying to change the narrative of what was started.
In your opinion, originally, because everybody mindset changes as they go through the transition, and we're gonna get to that. What made him start that particular gang out that organization? I'm talking about from your knowledge. I'm talking about when it originated.
From my knowledge,
Yes.
to help his people,
Okay.
feed his family. Um, from my knowledge, that's what it is. It wasn't organized for self destruct or killing each other or what's going on right now. Um, it was started, and what they was doing is helping their community, and pretty much that's what all the gangs back then was started for, to help each other. You know what I'm saying? Help us in our neighborhoods.
So by you making that statement, I have to ask you a critical question. So you're saying there was no criminal activity involved? Is that what you're saying?
Obviously, it was some type of criminal activity, but right. But I'm not aware of it. That's way before my time, so I can't speak on what type of criminal activity was being done. I only know what was being told in the media or was what you read about. I wasn't there at that time, so I can't speak upon what type of criminal activity was being going on. I just know what they got him for. You know what I'm saying? So I can't speak on what criminal activity they had going on back then. But back then, even the whites, Polish, and Italians had a lot of criminal activity going on too. So it wasn't just the blacks or the members of GDs, and it was a lot. Just wasn't just GDs. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a lot of criminal activity. But I can't speak upon what type of criminal activity that was being made back then because I don't know. I just know what they're holding him for now, or what he was being charged with. What's on paper, what he's in there for now. No, I can't. I really can't speak upon that.
You have zero idea that the GDs or the L Rippers did any wrong in your opinion. I gotta ask you that critically because I'm a critical thinker. They did in your
I'm
opinion.
not saying I'm not saying that they didn't do any wrong. We all do wrong. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I can't speak upon what they were doing because that's way before my time. All I can say is I know what they got him for now. I don't know what he's done. I wouldn't even you know speak upon like something I don't know about. That's something I don't know about, so I couldn't tell you what they did. But we all have done crime before. We all done wrong. So
But you know what? What did the Messiah say? The Messiah made a statement. He said, and I'm not quoting verbatim, only what I read in the Bible, that those that have sinned, let them throw the first stone. You know, and my knowledge, there was criminal activity that did take place, but you know what? He might have started it, but that mindset totally changed and
right,
transcended.
right. It had to be criminal activity going on for where he's at right now.
Hmm
You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But what I'm just saying, I only know what was in the media. You know what I'm saying, or was what you could look up and see what's in history. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
hmm I like to ask you a question. You had a mayor in Chicago, Illinois, named Mayor Ed Gator. I would like to ask you something. There was a gang called the Hamburger Gang, and the thing is, How come he wasn't prosecuted? How come he wasn't sent to jail? And from what I understand and what I read, even the Speaker of the House, Michael Maddox, who was the Speaker of the House for Illinois, he used to be in the Hamburger Gang and Mayor Daley. In your opinion, why did they not be penalized for the activities that took place in their game? Let's call that
Because of
Hamburger
this,
Gang.
this color we both have, the color that we both share. That's why. That's why. Because we know they all committed just as much crime as anybody else because they called themselves a gang themselves, and they don't want to see our people win or our people unite or get together and become what they've become.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want it. They don't want that. And it's all about this. The system is already designed for us to lose. It wasn't never built for us. We had to figure it out to survive, but it wasn't designed for us to win at all. So, back then, it wasn't designed for us to win because our color. So, yeah, we're going to be looked at as criminals and want to lock us up, especially when they find a man that could talk and bring people together. Unity, because when it comes down to it, the more we divide, the more we become a minority. We're not the minority. I think we're the majority. But we stay the minority because we don't unify.
Well, I would like to say something in regards to that. We are not. I believe that we are not the minority globally. Globally, there are more people of color
Right.
on the earth, not in the United States of America. I'm talking about globally.
Right.
There are more people of color than So some people have devised a plan. And even Jeff Ford, would you have anything to say about Jeff Ford? He used to be the leader of RUKNS. What is your history of him, and what do you think about him?
My history about him, um, his purpose was the same to help his people and build his people up. That was the whole purpose of all the gangs, the black gangs back then, because the leaders actually were in poverty. You know what I'm saying? So if there was criminal activity, it was to help their own people to come out of poverty to in a place that was hard to make it. You know what I'm saying? So these organizations and these gangs were put together to police our own community and also to help our community. They feed the homeless. They feed the not only the homeless but just the whole community. They did a lot of stuff for the community, but they don't put that in the media. They only put the wrong.
You know what? I was told that back then there was a code of ethics where if you did something that was destructive, you would pay for it.
Yes, sir.
And these young boys, they have no allegiance. Some of them just don't have any allegiance to anybody. So how was it different then, and how is it changed? How is these organizations how they transcend? Talking about has it gotten worse? Was it really organized when
It got way worse. It got way worse, and it's not organized because first and foremost, it's the older guys sending the younger guys off. They're not being a big brother, or they're not being the father figures, or they're not trying to make these kids go back to school instead of getting off the corner. It's about the dollar now. You know what I'm saying? And it's got way worse because they took the leaders out of the community, which held even the gangs tight as one. So when they took the leaders out, it more leaders started popping up, or the wrong people started popping up, and they started branching off, and they started branching off into cliques. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by click? It's somebody that don't even know what clicks mean. I know what clicks mean.
Cliques is like just a different, their own group. They represent who they represent, but not in the right way because they branched off in like on some outlaw stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like cliques, different cliques. If they have to make different cliques and not abide by the law that was set, then you know what I'm saying? It's mutiny somewhere within that. So that's why back then it was groups to gangs together like as one. Now it's just so many cliques, so many cliques. They're not gonna listen to nobody. They're not gonna listen to anybody right now because, for one, too many drugs in their system. Two, they listen to a big homie that's putting this work in their hand and sending them off and not giving them the right direction in life. Because at the end of the day, I live a life out there, and it's only two ways you going. You know what I'm saying? In jail or in the ground.
Now,
The gang.
now I have to ask you a question now. You dimming my hopes now. Okay. And you saying they're not going to listen to anyone. Are you saying that if Jeff Ward was released from prison and Larry Hoover was released from prison, you do not believe that they will have any type of influence over some of these young guys?
They're not anybody. They're somebody. They're the ones they need to listen to. Anybody, I mean anybody besides them. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that's not going to listen to them, but majority will. Yeah, I believe that they can make a difference. They the one they were the guys that they took out of the equation. You know what I'm saying? And then it started a whole lot mutiny started. So they got to put these leaders back into the equation. But they do that for a reason. Because when you find somebody with a voice that powerful and can unite and bring people together and change votes, they get scared of that. The powers that be get scared of that.
Well, I mean, it's also another element that is involved that you say they get scared of it. Is also another element that is involved that there are counties that have institutions, jails right now.
It's stock.
Millions of dollars, and then you can invest in jail on the stock market.
It's stock.
That is not that element involved.
That's the big part of the element because that's like that's big money right now. If you look at it, is you just look at it, that's why it's messed up when you look at it because I look at it in our neighborhood of our color like we're numbers now. You know what I'm saying? We're numbers, and it's like our young ones are being like cattle being herded by the police because it's like your numbers. That's it. You're a dollar number going into that jail, and they got to keep us going in there, because it's big stock, it's big money right now, and that's why so many police in our neighborhoods. And if you call for a police officer to come to your in the city right now, I guarantee 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a white police officer. It's not going to be your own. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know what? My question, being a critical thinker, I hear people say you need more police of color in the community. But my question that I pose and I pose to everybody. Even if you did have more police of color in the community, you know it, and I know it, and other people know it. There's a code of silence on the police department. And are you suggesting that would eliminate code of silence?
I don't think it is.
say what code of silence is. Code of silence, the people out here looking is, okay, he does something good and I do something bad. And he's not going to tell on me because we both why a badge is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Turns his head. So going back to asking you that question, are you saying that would eliminate the code of silence if there were four black officers? You had police officers like love that hated their own kind. So if you could expand on that, I appreciate it.
I don't think that would stop the code of silence. It's always going to be a code of silence because it's at the end of the day, if they police officers, their color is blue all day. It's not black or white. It's blue. They're gonna stick with each other. They their own gang themselves. You know what I'm saying? And what I would suggest is that we police our own community. That way, the police won't have to come into your community and start and most of the stuff wouldn't happen if we police our own community. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it has to go back in the day. It's bad when your child can't go outside and sit on the front porch or sit in the living room without a bullet coming through the window, or ride a bike on the sidewalk and without a bullet coming through. You know, it's bad. It's bad. So my thing is, we need to police our own communities. If we police our own communities and people won't get away with shooting these kids, it'll stop. It'll stop. The police can't stop it. They're not trying to stop it. Why would they stop it?
I don't think it's. I don't. For some of them, it's not in their best interest.
No. Tell me one time you seen the police pull up when they actually shooting. They gonna come afterwards.
I don't have anything. I don't have. I really don't have anything good. It's hard for me to be biased. I just don't have that many good things to say about police officers. I remember one time they tried to plant something on. And so I'm probably wrong. It's hard for me to be biased. I don't hope a police officer gets hurt, killed.
No, not at all.
All I want to do is go out there and just do their job.
Do your job, and don't be biased in doing that. You know what I'm saying? Don't you like I heard before. You got two choices every day you wake up. You got a choice and a chance. You got another chance to start over, and you got a choice to do something wrong and do something right. You know what I'm saying? So those are two things we all promised every time we open our eyes.
And I want to tell people out there that are listening, if you like this broadcast, I would like you to go at the bottom and share this broadcast with somebody, because we're talking about criminal activity and Jeff Ward and Larry Hoover. And what, like this broadcast, make a donation to this, because these are the type of shows that I'm bringing to you. Hey, I want something even better than this. But going back to what I was saying, you were saying there should be more black police. So I go back to what I originally said. I would like to know if we know there's a code of silence, how would that really make a difference?
It's not gonna make a difference. It's not gonna make a difference, but you still might get that one police officer that can make a difference. That's gonna do right. And it can and out of that one, he could do so much. So I mean, it might not make a difference, but we might just get that one that does really care about the neighborhood and his people, and not look at us just numbers. You know what I'm saying? Or look at us because in a different way.
Now you said you had made a statement. You wanted to express how Larry will change and affect your life. And if you could share that with the people that are listening, I appreciate it.
First is the blueprint that's publicly shown, and the blueprint is I lived a destructive life, until I started studying him and reading up on him and being around the people that he loved. Um, he changed my life for the better. Like to be a father, to be a grandfather, to be productive in the society. I went back and got 12 trades and some college just to educate myself. Just because school is that he made me feel like school is that important to make it in society. Um, it just and after I walk on the righteous side of trying to do good or trying to give back to people, it actually feels good. I don't even want to look back to any criminal activity. And the blueprint is really teaching you how to be. It's showing you and telling you how to be a grown man. It's like the blueprint is like your father raising you. You know what I'm saying? He raised that blueprint, raised a lot of people out here and turned a lot of people's life around to do right. And like just like him and like everybody else, everybody deserves a second chance. He needs to get a second chance. He needs to get out. He's 70, what, 72?
Hmm.
72 years old. What criminal activity this man gonna do and get out but go be with his wife, his kids, his grandkids? And would you, after so long, want to get out and do any type of wrong? If jail is if people are sent to jail to rehabilitate, how can you have them rehabilitate, get all this education, and not let them apply it and rehabilitate and show other people not to go that way if that's what he changed to be? Just like I really want to change the language on how we look at him, on how on what we on how we present him to other people, because he's not a gang leader anymore. You know what I'm saying? I want people to address him as a father, a grandfather, or and a husband, because that's what he is first. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Hmm.
if we don't change the way we talk and the way we present Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover and we chief and gang and all that, that those words are powerful.
Yeah.
It's powerful because that's if you present those words to people that don't even know them, all type of bad stuff coming out their brain already thinking because of the words that you attaching to them. Words are energy. You know what I'm saying? And that energy could be shifted in the wrong way, and these guys are trying to get out. So we don't want to keep putting these labels on them. I know it helps for people to whatever it is, or media, social media, but I think my personal opinion that we should change the way we talk. If we trying to change the way we look at him, we got to change the way we present him and talk and label him, because if we don't, we're not giving him a second chance. The media not giving him a second chance. If you still labeling him what he was sent in there for, call him what he is now: a father, a grandfather, a husband, a brother, a uncle. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what about what about former gang members?
Form it right, and right, and that's beautiful and that's perfect, because that one word former represents change. It represents change. And that's what we trying to project, and that's what not project, but that's what we trying to show people, that Larry Hoover has changed. He's not the Larry Hoover that went in 71 or 72, 71. He's not the Larry Hoover that went in. Then he's the different Larry Hoover, a father, a brother, an uncle, a grandfather, a husband first, a family man.
Would you not say from your perspective that I'm gonna bring Jeff Ford in, okay, and Larry Hoover, that they have the ability to influence someone that is presently in a gang and may even be a renegade and somebody that the preacher cannot reach, or the imam cannot reach, or the cardinal can't reach, or the minister can't, that they have the ability to speak to them in their language.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I believe they have the ability to speak to many in that language, even if they just get one, spark one brain. That's more than enough. Because that one brain gonna spark somebody else. And when he get his teachings and he graduate from growth, see, growth and development could be everybody. Vice lords, breeds, stones. Growth and development is one. It's the same concept as united in peace. The same concept. You know what I'm saying? It's not gangster disciples, growth and development. Same concept. And and yes, I think that they got the power to reach many people, many. You know, so they changed thousands of people's lives already, especially Larry Hoover. Changed thousands of people's lives all over the world. All over the world. If you look at social media and you follow social media and all that, you can see all over the world when everybody's giving back to and helping their community in the name of Larry Hoover right now, the righteous ones. Not the ones out there saying GD and throwing up the force, the ones that's out there and you see giving food to the homeless and doing what's right for their community. That's growth and development. That's what Larry Hoover is teaching.
Okay. Now you know what? Just a follow up question. My follow up is you know, and I know that they're renegades. Renegades mean they're people that they're not bound by anybody's laws. We're gonna do. Do you think Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford was let out of prison? And they made players to never any criminal activity again. That they know how to effectively deal with individuals that say, man, I ain't following nobody's law. Do you think they know how to do? Do you think they know how to deal with renegades?
I don't think anybody would know how to deal with them. And some of the renegades are renegades because of those leaders like that are locked up. But I do think that they could reach them. They could reach them on who they are. And because renegades are renegades because they took the leaders out the community anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they broke it down to be renegades, because it is what it is. It's renegades because they took your number one leaders out of the community, and that's how renegades been renegades for a long time when they start making clicks. That's what the renegades be. You know what I'm saying? The clicks, like we were saying earlier. But yeah, they have the power to reach them too, because some of them renegades they don't want to listen to nobody but Larry Hoover or Jeff Ford, and that's why they renegades. So they feel like they ain't got to listen to nobody but them. A lot of them do.
Well, the reason I was asking that is because I imagine that they would communicate well. Because at one time they had that mindset, and they know what they were. They have transcended past it. Whereas the minister or the imam or the cardinal, they have no idea how to deal with it. They just know how to go by textbook things. Know how to read something in a book and do a case study, but they actually live the life. So, I think that would make them more effective. You know.
And I think I say this too. Also to add with that, sometimes the solution to what's going on out here is the solution you have to have. Wait a minute, before you come tell somebody they a problem or they're creating a problem, you have to have a solution. You have to have a solution. Just like some of these kids don't want to listen to nobody because at the end of the day it's about the money, and they out here doing it because it's about the money. So if you come to them and it's like, man, I want you to do the right thing and get a job and all that, and they looking at you like, well, man, I could keep doing what I'm doing, scamming on this corner and make more than getting this job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They gonna keep doing what they doing. So you got to have some type of solution. Come to them, not get a job, but when you come to them, have a job they can get. Or tell them if if you help you fill out this application, I can get you a job paying $23 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Like, but you have to have a solution when you talk to these kids or the younger kids like T Lamar Hood. He has a solution. He's trying to get kids off the street by putting them on basketball, helping them get scholarships through college, and teaching them how to play ball. And every kid that he gets off the street, that's one kid not getting shot. That's one kid not being on the corner. That's one kid the police didn't kill. You know what I'm saying? So that's like he has a solution. That's a solution.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to ask you something. You know what I would like to know? They're young. You know what? There are young kids out there that I've seen young kids disrespect their mothers, disrespect their fathers, curse them out, talk back to them. But when they go to prison, they follow orders. Can you break that down? Why would a person be disrespectful towards the one that brought them in the world? But when you go to prison, you do everything your chief tells you to do. How's that?
Me, I respected who raised me, and I respect adults anyway. That's how I was raised. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if I didn't know you and you was older than me. I respect my elders. That's how I was taught.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these adults were kids too, or growing up with they kids or trying to be their best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's no discipline. If they talking to you like that, there is no discipline. They can't talk to nobody in jail like that because it's gonna be repercussions behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna have to face those repercussions. You know what I'm saying? You can't run. You can't run nowhere. Where you going? So yeah, they gonna listen.
You can't even go to protective custody and hide, huh?
No, and it might be more than one that's gonna get on your butt. You know what I'm saying? Compared to you disrespecting your mom and your dad, and you can leave the house and hit the block or whatever. Them be the ones. Them be the ones, the rebellion ones. Like, oh man, screw it up. I'm in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But when they go to jail, you can't run nowhere. You can't talk to nobody like that because you're gonna have to be a man and stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? I would like for you to, if you could send a message to a young man, a young lady, because they're girl gangs too.
Yeah, it's both sides.
But I would like if you could send a message to somebody that's thinking about pulling the trip to eliminate somebody and take somebody's life. If you could send a message to them, whether it be now, somewhere in the future, if you could send a message to them about why they shouldn't. Because some people say, I don't know if they do it or not. You get initiated, you got to join the gang. You got to kill someone. Can you send a message to a young man, a young lady that might be confronted with these variables at these situations?
Are you ready? Are you ready to spend the rest of your life in a box? That's all to it. In the box or in jail or living on or sleeping on a metal bed or sleeping on a concrete slab, no bigger than your bathroom. Can you do that the rest of your life? Before you pull that trigger, think about that. Think about that. Are you ready to spend the rest of your life in a cell no bigger than your bathroom and not go anywhere? Because you kill somebody 9 times out of 10, you're going to get 25 or better, and that's life. 25, 20 is life. You 20 years old, you're getting out 40, so much stuff that went past, that's life. Are you ready to spend the rest of your life in a bathroom? Because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about. You got to think about. Use your brain. It's not nobody's worth going to jail for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
You got a message in the chat room. It says, comment Abdul Assad said, checking you brothers out. Stay powerful, black man. And he got these signs up.
Yes,
What
sir.
like this?
Always, and that's
What like
growth and
this?
development. That gives me the power, and ever since I've learned and studied growth and development, it pulls me back to my people where I don't want to kill another man, or I don't want to sell a drug. I want to be a productive citizen in this society and not be a number when these people see me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be cattle being herded, and I pray for these young brothers and sisters that they wake up, because this game ain't it's not meant to get rich anymore. It's not. It's meant to get caught up. It's designed now to get caught up. To get caught up so you can go to jail and be that number. Yeah, you a dollar sign to them.
See the dollar sign?
If they a dollar sign, if they have no poverty or drugs and crime that these people keep putting in our community, where will they work at?
Mm,
What job will they have?
mm-hmm. I would, like to get into the prison system. You know what? There are good correctional officers out there, and there are bad correctional officers. I would like to ask you. I believe, like I said, I work in the system, and I know there are some bad correctional officers that misuse inmates and talk back to them and exploit them. I would like to ask you something about the correctional officers, like in Statesville, or Cook County Jail, or Muddy Water, White. And Dwight, they some of them misuse women at Dwight. Women. I would like to ask you something. The correctional officers that work at these facilities, should they carry private insurance? Should they have two body cameras so they are monitored all day about how they treat those prisoners?
Yes, yes, because I didn't see. It's a lot going on behind there. Yeah, they deserve body cams, and then they deserve to get their own insurance. I think they should have their own insurance, because then they'll be accountable. They're gonna start being accountable for what they do to people. You know what I'm saying? Because they have their own insurance. It's not going to be on Cook County then, or the state to cover up or pay for whatever they done did. They gonna have to be responsible for that, and then it'll be less mishaps or with the body cams and then paying for their own insurance. Then the jails will be ran how they supposed to be ran. You know what I'm saying?
When you say that goes for the police officers, and when I make the term body cam, what I mean is, should they not have two body cams so they can never have the excuse it went out?
Yeah, because and so and that's an excuse. And that's an excuse that I really think some of them police officers just turn it off. You know what I'm saying? When stuff get too hot, or they finna get too hot in the brain, they turn it off. I really don't never think like it a malfunction or anything. But yeah, I think it should be a backup body cam all the time.
Okay, brother got a message in the chat room. Brother Clifton, your audio is kind of not beloved, but we hear the other brothers well. Okay. I mean, I gotta turn down. I'm having a problem with my audio. I'm sorry. You know,
No, I hear you.
these contraptions work. Let me try to turn it down. Try to turn it down. We'll see if that does any. Okay. But go ahead, brother. I'm listening to you.
Yeah, and I just want to say too, go to Larry Hoover, Hoover Enterprise, and free my father, and go get you a t-shirt.com. Go get you a t-shirt, support, and you go to the website and pull it up, and you can order it directly off the website. And but yeah, I really think the police should have two cameras on too, because um, it's needed. So what? So it won't be any excuses. The camera went out when they really turned it off, because they don't want to catch everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? You're exactly right. They should have two of them,
But
one in the front and one right here on the shoulder.
but you know what? Going back, I hope that you, and brother, thank you for letting me know that there's an echo. And you know what? I'll work on it.
I don't hear you. I don't hear an echo.
He said he hears an echo or feedback. But you know, one thing I would like to ask you to reinforce my statement: a hairdresser has to have insurance. A barber has to have insurance. Why? I'm talking about private insurance. So why should a correctional officer and a police officer have to have their own private insurance? Because what happened is when these lawsuits go out, no money is coming out of their pocket. But if money was coming out of their pocket and their insurance company, they would think twice. You want to comment on that? I think you did.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. People will think twice about what they do when they have to pay for their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Or their wrongs. Now I ain't gonna say mistakes. I'm gonna say wrongs. You know what I'm saying? And if it don't come out their pocket, they not gonna really care. The most thing that happen to them is that they'll lose their job. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, they be protected under their code of silence. But if they have their own insurance, then the people could go straight after them and sue them personally, and a lot of them gonna have to start being accountable for what they do. So yeah, that'll help big time because which what they already saying they underpaid. So I'm pretty sure they don't want no more coming out their check.
Oh, they ain't underpaid. Believe me, brother. They ain't underpaid.
Right.
Because you know what, man? Let me get out here, get a job making $14 or $15 an hour. They not underpaid.
Right.
But I'm looking at it from a different economic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
That's not underpaid. Making 30, 35, $40,000. To me, that's good money. But,
Yeah, that's good money.
Yeah, and for them to say it, it's a lot. But I would like to ask is once a young man goes to jail, what can he expect if he's in the gang? What can he expect if he's not in the gang once he enters those walls?
And I've witnessed, and I really think that goes on the individual, on how much heart he has, and I witnessed a lot. I've never been to the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
I've never been to the penitentiary, but I've been in and out of county a couple times for little mishaps. But never, I'll have no felonies, never, none of that. But I think it's pretty much, on the individual on how if you gonna let somebody come up there and punk you, no matter who they with, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But if you gonna come up in there and fold and not be a man, even if you lose in a fight, still be a man. You know what I'm saying? I really think that's on the individual. You can't put that on the gangs or whatever, because it's gonna be people throughout the world that's gonna come try you in jail or out of jail, and it's on you to stand up as a man and defend yourself.
Well, you ever see the movie Oz?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what, brother? That was realistic. That was
yeah,
realistic. Okay, that was realistic.
yeah. It was.
Because you know what? People will take. See, damn, I'm making it like I'm fast. But you know what? I have seen people get abused in prison. Abuse. Manhood taken. And you know what? If you do not belong to a clique, as you said earlier, it's damn near like it's a term called neutron.
Neutron.
And you damn near got to pay off all the games. You don't agree with that?
It depends on where you at. I think it depends on where you at
Okay.
and in the jail. I don't think it's all through the jail. I think it depends on where you at in the jail or what jail you in. All jails are not like that. It wasn't like that in all. Like it might be like some tiers or whatever. It may be like that, but I don't think they all like that. It's still good people in there.
Well,
So it could be a yes and it could be a no. I think it depends on the individual.
but I would say I agree that, but I'm talking about in the maximum security prison. prisons. It's brother, brother. They just don't know, man. I am. You know what? Everybody that's listening here, I'm not gonna tell you. I know. Okay, but they can take your manhood, brother. And
Yeah.
and you know what? One thing a brother told me, you can't beat the whole mob, brother.
No, you can't beat the whole mob. You can't beat the whole mob. But I don't. I think yeah, it may be some of that going on, but I think they got a little bit order in them jails now. You know what I'm saying? Than it used to be back in the day. I think it's a little bit order in them jails now. But it depends. If you let that man come, even if they're a mob, I don't care if it's a mob. You're gonna have to take me out trying to come take man. you
I,
just,
I, I,
I,
I like you got a message in the chat room. Okay, brother said I'm in prison. He said he's in prison right now. Okay, been here almost 20 years. 20 years. The gangs are rigorous, brother. I recently retired and founded the National Plus Coalition, but there's no leadership. Would you like to comment on that?
mm, there's no leadership. Why you want to? There's no leadership in these streets neither. The leaders are all locked up. The ones they listen to. He's right. There is no leadership. That's why it takes for us, the ones that's learned from the leaders that they locked up, to be stand up and continue their teachings, to be a leader, to shine that light to the young ones that's out here doing wrong, and show them the righteous way. Even if you just telling them or showing them, you still planted that seed in their head.
Your brother say he's in prison, brother. Can you tell us what prison you in? And I like that. So you make a statement. You don't believe they can do. You don't believe that other inmates are abusing other inmates because they see them as weak. You don't believe
Yeah, I believe that. I believe it's some individuals that's abusing other inmates because they see him as a weak link. But in my eyes, that person weak too for preying on the weak. You know what I'm saying? And he's a sick person. He has a problem, and that's probably pretty much what part of the reason he's in there.
And what do you do, brother? If you in jail and you don't belong to no gang, and the other gang decide to take your commissary, what do you do, brother? And you don't belong to anybody. What do you do, brother?
At that point, what can you do? What can you do? You can stand up and fight. So next time they know you're gonna fight for yours. But if it's more than one, you probably get stumped out and your life snubbed out. You know what I'm saying? You can always get it again, just like in the streets. If somebody come rob you, why are you gonna fight for it? Take it. It's nothing. I could buy this whole commissary again, but it's not worth your life.
If I'm a gang, I got a gang. I'm gonna take it. You ain't in my. I'm gonna take it every time. Just because I can.
Well, I think he probably need to talk to somebody to bounce him off that unit. He need to get out that unit. If he gonna keep taking your stuff every time, gonna get off that unit, or I wouldn't say join the gang, but get off the unit. You got to talk to somebody to get off that unit because it don't look like it's gonna end well.
I think you when you say that you would have would you say that you would have a harsher life if you was not affiliated with somebody once you get inside a maximum security prison?
Would you have a harsher life?
Would you have a harsher life if you was not affiliated with any gang once you get in a maximum security prison?
I never been, so I never been to prison. You know what I'm saying? So I my perspective on it on that is, I think too it's on the individual. It's on the individual. You know what I'm saying? It's on the individual. Like it's on that person, on how you stand up for yourself and how you present yourself to people. You could be a neutron and be the coolest neutron on the deck, but that don't mean somebody gonna come try and take your commissary, or that don't mean somebody gonna come and try and rape you or anything. They prey on the weak. So you could be a neutron and they don't look at you like you weak, and they won't come bother.
I'm gonna tell you, brother. In my experience, you paying everybody off. You paying other gangs off to leave you alone, and you're gonna pay rent for that cell. Believe
Oh well. See, I have never experienced that, and not been in no situation like that, so I couldn't really speak on that situation. So all I can say is I was taught to never stop swinging and just keep swinging. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was taught. So that's why I keep saying stand up for yourself, because I don't care if it was about 5 or 10 of them. Either I'm gonna give it up because it's not worth my life, or we gonna fight tonight.
me. Okay. So you know something? We got a comment in the chat room, and it says, "Well, what's the chief for CH or my rep? What is it? But my young brother was killed. It was the Pontiac Punchman prison in 2020. It is over with. The gang banging for men. You see, it's over with. You see, his brother was killed
Mm-hmm.
in the prison, and I wonder what was he killed for? You know, and what you would you comment on that? His brother was killed 20 years ago in prison.
Oh, my condolences on that. And but what was he killed for?
Now he did that he didn't say.
I can't really comment on that. I don't even know what he was killed for. But I'm sorry for your loss. You know, any loss is tragic, no matter where it was, at prison, on the street, whatever. I'm sorry for your loss. I can't really comment on that because I don't know what his brother was killed for in prison. If it was for him being bullied, commissary, to him taking commissary, I don't know. I can't really comment on that.
Brother said I'm an imam in the Islamic community, but it is kind of hard for those that are neutrons. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam.
He said he's reiterating what I'm saying. Saying
Oh, okay.
it's kind of hard for neutrons to survive, brother.
Yeah, it is. It probably is, but
Oh, it
I done
is.
seen. I done. I know some friends that's neutrons that came out of there and they was straight. They was well.
He was paying somebody to leave him alone. Believe me, brother. Believe me. Um, I'm not gonna say how I know. I'm just gonna leave that like that, brother. Okay.
Right.
But and Imam, I send that message out to you. I would love to have you come on this show. And brother, something else I would like to ask you. What does an individual do that's in prison and he's surrounded by so many gang members? What does he do? Does he join a gang? Does he stay neutral and pay everybody off? I go to HLs. HLs is protective custody.
I believe that's up to the individual on how he feels he want to handle that situation.
Hmm.
Everybody is different. Everybody think different. It might be that one person that want to just pay the people off and stay where he at. It might be the person think he want to go to H house. Go do what you feel you need to do so you can survive in there. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's paying somebody off or whatever it may be. If that's how you think you need to survive, where you not be untouched, do what you need to do. That's all I can say.
Okay. The brother said he was in Mississippi State Prison, Hirschman Prison. I'm probably not even pronouncing it right. You know. And brother, the brothers in that are in prison, know what? Hold your head up. And you know what? You brothers is
When
going to
you
get
brothers
out.
is going to get out,
Go to school.
go to school,
You know, and
and
brothers that's
brothers
not
just
going to
not
get
gonna
out.
get out.
And don't be
Don't be
jealous and
jealous and
envious and
envious and
hateful
hateful
of your
of your
own
own
brother.
brother.
Encourage him to
Encourage
go
him
to
to go
school.
to school.
Take some
Take some
corresponding
corresponding
courses.
courses.
But you
But you
reiterate that
reiterate that
because
because
there's
there's
somebody that's
somebody
not
that's not
getting out.
getting out.
And
And
how would
how
you
would you
deal with
deal
this
with this
situation?
situation?
I'm gonna
gonna
ask
ask
you
you
this:
this:
how
how
would
would
you
you
deal
deal
with
with
this
this
if
if
you
you
was
was
getting
getting
ready
ready
to
to
get
get
out
out
of
of
jail
jail
and your
and your
gang chief
gang chief
knew that it
knew
was
that
gonna
it
be a
was gonna be a
shakedown, but they
shakedown,
wanted to
but they
hide
wanted to
all the
hide all the
shanks in your
shanks in
cell?
your cell?
What do you
What
do?
do you do?
I'm gonna
I'm
tell
gonna
you what
tell you
that
what that
person
person
did, but I'm
did, but
not
I'm
gonna
not
say
gonna
his
say
name.
his name.
He had
He
no
had no
choice.
choice.
He had a,
He had a,
they
they
hid all
hid
the
all the
shanks
shanks
in
in
his
the
cell.
cell.
And if he
And if he
didn't do
didn't
it,
do
he was
it,
gonna
he
be
was gonna be
killed.
killed.
What do you
What do
do
you
in a
do in a
situation like
situation
that?
like that?
When your
When
gang
your
chief
gang
gives
chief
you,
gives you,
when your
when
gang
your
chief
gang
gives
chief
you an
gives you
order.
an order.
My gang, see, I'm not part of a gang.
I'm just saying
Just saying
I'm part of a
hypothetically.
brotherhood, a family.
Okay,
Hypothetically, what do you do?
what do you do?
That's a hard choice. That's a hard choice right there because you saying they saying you will be killed.
Oh yeah, if you
Oh
don't
yeah, if
follow
you
the
don't
orders
follow
of
the
the
orders of
gang
the
chief,
gang
you're gonna
chief,
be
you're gonna
hurt
be hurt
real
real
bad out
bad
here,
out here.
brother. If your
Your
gang
gang
chief gives
chief
you an
gives you an
order,
order.
you gotta
You gotta
follow it.
follow it.
But if you getting ready to get out, if you getting ready to get out, why would he want to put you in a position where you ain't gonna get out?
Maybe he don't
Maybe he
want to
don't
see
want
you
to see
get out.
you get out.
Maybe he want to
Maybe
see
he want
you
to see you
locked up for
locked
the
up for
rest
the
of
rest of
your life
your
like
life
him.
like him.
Well, that gang chief meant you no good. So why would you sacrifice your life or your freedom for somebody that don't care about yours?
All I
All I
know is he
know is
put
he
the
put the
shanks in his
shanks in the
cell,
cell,
brother.
brother.
That's all
That's
I
all
know.
I know.
He put the shanks.
Did he get more time for it?
He got
He
more
got more
time. I think
time.
he
I
got
think
to
he
keep
got to keep
5 months
5
or
months or
4 months
4
or
months or
something like
something
that.
like that.
But after he
But
got
after
the
he got
four
the
months,
4
he went to
months, he went to
H
H
house.
house.
He went to
He went to
protect
protect
himself.
himself.
He should have went to H house before that. Then
Oh, brother.
Brother.
Now I
Now
know
I
you
know
ain't.
you
You know
ain't. You
what?
know
I
what?
know
I
you
know
ain't
you
been in
ain't been in
prison,
prison,
brother.
nope.
You know why? You know how I know
I
you.
know you don't.
You
Why
ain't
you
been in
say
prison,
that?
brother. There's
Brother,
still
there's still
somebody over
somebody
there
over
for
there
you,
for you,
brother.
brother.
Believe me.
Believe me.
Yeah.
You ain't
You
been in
ain't been in
prison,
prison. And
Mm-mm. No.
that's
and
good.
that's good.
Good
Now
for
that's
you.
a good thing.
I'm
I'm
listening to
listening
what
to
you're
what you're
saying.
saying.
Believe me,
Believe
brother.
me,
There's
brother,
still
there's still
somebody over
somebody
there to
over there
take
to
care of
take
their
care of their
business.
business.
Believe me.
Believe me.
They probably will, and that's where it goes back to. Either way it go, either situation, it's a life or death situation. You still got to. If I in prison or wherever I was at, I'm gonna stand up as a man. No matter who tell me to do what, if it's in my best interest and I got to sit and more years in jail, you got to be a man. At the end of the day, like growth of development is saying, be a man. Be a man and be accountable for and stand up for your own. If that gang chief sent you to hold the shanks, does he care about you?
No, you don't care
You
about
don't
no.
care
I mean,
about
what you
He
gonna do?
don't care.
Can't beat the
can't
whole
beat the
mob,
whole
my
mob,
brother.
my brother.
You can't. No, you can't. So that's not the organization you need to be with. Then
I agree.
if they're gonna keep sending you up the river,
No, yeah. But you know,
But you
man,
know, man,
to these
to
young
these young
people
people
that are out
that
here,
are out here,
to
you know,
Imam,
Imam,
I would
I
love,
would love,
Imam, I would
Imam, I
love to
would
have
love
you
to have
on.
you on.
To these
To
young
these young
people,
people,
what do they
what do
have
they
to look
have to look
forward to
forward to
if they
if they
want to
want to
have
have
destructive destructive behavior
behavior
patterns towards
patterns
their
towards
own
their own
communities and their
communities and
own
their own
people and
and
destroying their
destroying
own
their own
lives?
lives?
What do they
What
have
do
to
they
look
have to look
forward to
forward to
once they hit
once they
those
hit those
prison
prison
walls?
walls?
Statesville,
Statesville,
Muddy
Muddy
Water,
Water,
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
What do they
What
have
do
to
they
look
have to look
forward to?
forward to?
What?
either dying in there or everything you just talked about: rape, holding shanks, getting more time, doing more. It's just because you go to prison, that don't mean the crime is stopped. It's more crime. That's a whole nother world you got to survive in. You don't want to go, like I said, you don't want to go live in it. Some of these prisons got worse, way worse conditions, like some of the prisons down south. You don't want to go to prison.
you got a
you got a
message in the
message in
chat
the chat
room, and it
room, and it
says
says
that
that
the
the
guys that
guys
are
that are
running
running
are
are
more
more
dangerous
dangerous
than
than
everyone
everyone
else
else
because
because
they'll do
they'll do
anything
anything
to clear
to
their
clear their
names.
names.
You want to
You want
comment
to
on that?
comment on that?
What do you mean, the guys that are running from the gangs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, yeah. Why would you want to go to prison to get more time?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean,
And that's what I'm saying. And what he's saying, you got to be a man and stand up for yourself, no matter if it's a gang or not. Because how I see it is, if you're gonna die, that's because it was written for you to die, not because they're gonna kill you or death. Death. One thing we all have in common, and that's death.
hmm
And tomorrow's not promised to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So if that's how you gonna die, you're not gonna be able to stop that. So you still gonna have to stand up and be a man for yourself, no matter what. If they beat you up, if they kill you, whatever, why you gonna go in there and get more time? More time. You saying that they could reach you in H house or whatever, so you gonna have to eventually be a man and stand up for yourself.
Yeah. They,
yeah,
they can
they
reach
can
out and
reach out
touch
and touch
somebody in your
somebody in your
family, brother.
family, brother.
I don't know if
I
you
don't know
knew
if you
that,
know
brother.
that, brother.
Yeah, I know. If people in prisons got connects.
Yeah.
I've been around a lot of OGs all my life. A lot of OGs that been to the joint and been locked up a long time, and that's why I never went or never tried or was more careful of what I was doing out there because all the stories they done told me about prison, and I done seen how long they've been locked up and coming out trying to rehabilitate themselves, and that's not the life I wanted to live. That's why I changed. That's why I started living the blueprint because I don't want to be a number. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to sit in there in the bathroom or sleeping on a metal bed or a concrete slab half my life for the rest of my life.
hmm
That's not. I want to stay out and raise my daughter and help other people and live a righteous life. I did so much wrong. I don't want to do nothing but right. You know what I'm saying? It feels good. Like when I was out with Paradigm Shift, I would Lamar Hood, Mama, and Junior Larry Hoover Jr. And I'm giving out food and helping the community. It felt good. You know what I'm saying? Put goosebumps on my body, like because I'm doing something good than out here than rather doing something bad and destroying lives. And because when you out here selling drugs, cocaine, and heroin, you ain't doing nothing but destroying an individual, destroying your own people, and destroying families, man.
And
Families.
as we
As we
talk
talk
about that,
about that,
they
they
say
say
Larry
Larry
Hoover
Hoover
and Jeff
and Jeff
Ford,
Ford
they were
they were
involved.
involved.
Groups may have
Groups may have
sold
sold
marijuana.
marijuana.
Okay.
Okay,
Sold
sold
drugs.
drugs.
But I want
But I
to
want
ask you
to ask you
something. If
something.
they're
If
so
they're so
evil,
evil,
and these
and these
vices are
vices
so
are so
evil,
evil,
like
like
marijuana,
marijuana,
opioids, if
opioids,
they're so
they're so
evil,
evil.
why were they
Why were
made
they
legal?
made legal?
Because the government didn't have their chop of it, their hands in it. See, when people fail, this is what people fail to realize.
Gambling chip.
Gambling too.
America is a corporation.
Yeah.
So when it's just like you standing on their block and they ain't getting a cut of it.
hmm
So now it's illegal. Now all that stuff is legal and they got a cut of it, like marijuana illegal in a lot of states, and it's not like a federal crime or anything like that anymore because they getting their cut. Opiates, what they giving out legally to the doctors because they're getting their cut. It was all illegal or bad for them because America wasn't getting a cut. The government wasn't getting a cut. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I mean,
Larry
Larry
Hoover and
Hoover
Jeff
and
Ford
Jeff
was
Ford
so
was so
bad.
bad.
Why was
Why was
not
not
the
The
individuals
individuals
prosecuted
prosecuted
that
that
distributed
distributed
crack to
crack
the
to the
African
African
American
American
community in
community in
LA.
LA.
Why weren't
Why
they
weren't
brought
they
to
brought to
justice?
justice?
This is
This is
documented fact.
documented fact.
Why?
Why?
Could you repeat that one more again?
Okay,
Okay,
why was
why
not
was
the
not the
government,
government,
part of the
part of the
government that
government that
distributed
distributed
crack in
crack
the
in the
community in
community in
LA?
LA?
That's what was
That's what was
introduced.
introduced.
Why were they
Why
not
were they not
prosecuted?
prosecuted?
Why weren't they
Why
even
weren't
not
they even not
investigated
investigated
and
and
flushed out and
flushed
sent
out
to
and
jail?
sent to jail?
I like to
I like
ask
to
you.
ask you.
Probably because it was the government. It was the government. How you think this stuff get back out there? We ain't bringing this. We ain't putting this stuff out there. We ain't putting these trucks with full of these guns. Like, hey, who knew this truck had full of guns back there? Who brought to? Who's bringing this stuff over here? The powers that be, the CIA, the government, the people, the government over the government. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
I'm
asking.
asking.
yeah, it's the people, it's the government that we're not bringing this stuff over here from Mexico or letting it come across the border. You know what I'm saying? Or bringing this balos and balos of tons of weed over here. How we get that? You know what I'm saying? The government is dropping this over here. The government putting these trains over here with all these high powered weapons over there. How do our people know it's over there?
I understand.
They got to keep if the system, our neighborhoods is designed that way for the almighty dollar, like you saying, and so they can keep us going to jail because that's the biggest stop. So they put this stuff in our community because they know we're gonna run to it like rats on cheese and start shooting each other and getting on these blocks, and so they can put more of them police out there to keep herding us like cattle.
And I want to
I
go
want to go
further back
further
than
back
that,
than that,
brother, and
brother, and
ask you a
ask you a
question.
question.
If
If
all
all
these
these
drugs are
drugs
so
are so
evil, why
evil, why
wasn't
was it
once
once
upon a
upon a
time,
time,
brother? I
brother?
don't
I
know if
don't
you
know if
know.
you know.
They used to
They used
put
to put
cocaine
cocaine
in
And
Coca-Cola.
Coke,
Okay, and
in
Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola
pop
pop
that you
that
drank
you drank
once upon a
once
time.
upon a time.
Why weren't
Why
they
weren't they
prosecuted?
prosecuted?
I want to
I want to
ask you.
ask you.
because I didn't think I don't think they were fully aware of it was probably because it was white people doing it. I'm just being honest, man. I'm being honest. Way back then, if they had control over the product, it was a white person, right? Who owned Coca Cola back then? A white person, right? I'm not prejudiced. I just love my people. You know what I'm saying? And I have plenty of white friends, but I'm just speaking the truth. We didn't own Coca Cola. Was it our color that owned Coca Cola? It was a white man. So if he was white,
Joan Crawford's husband
Husband
was one
was
of the
one of the
owners. I don't
owners.
know
I
if it's
don't
a
know if
movie
it's a
star
movie
called
star
Joan
called Joan
Crawford. Her
Crawford. Her
husband,
husband,
one of her
one of her
husbands
husbands
owned
owned
a
a
portion
portion
of
of
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Yes.
was he black? Who was that? Joan Crawford?
Joan
Joan
Crawford is a
Crawford
movie
is a
star,
movie star.
black
Okay,
woman.
was her husband white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to
I want
ask
to
you
ask
Hey,
you.
another.
I was just stabbing in the dark guessing.
I want to
I want
ask
to
you,
ask
another
you another
question. If
question.
Larry
Larry
Hoover and
Hoover,
Jeff
Jeff
Ward
Ward
was so
was so
bad,
bad,
and
and
Bumpy
Bumpy
Smith was
Smith
so
was so
bad,
bad,
and they
and
put his
they put
mom
his
in
mom in
jail,
jail.
but they
But they
legalized running
legalized running
numbers. They
numbers.
used to
They
run
used to run
numbers in
numbers in
Harlem
Harlem
with Bumpy
with Bumpy
Smith.
Smith.
Okay, it was
Okay, it was
illegal,
illegal,
but they
but
turned
they
it
turned
legal.
it
What
legal. What
can you
can you
explain to
explain
me?
to me?
How was
How was
Bumpy
Bumpy
Jones
Jones
evil
evil
if they
if
turned
they turned
around
around
and
and
conducted the
conducted
same
the same
activities
activities
later on?
later on?
Explain that to
Explain
me,
it to
bro.
me, bro.
Because of this, our color. That's what makes us evil to them. Because they want to keep back then they still want to keep their foot on your neck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see you equal. They want to see you up under them. So yeah, they made it legal.
Let me say
Let me
this
say
to the
this to
people.
the
Let me say
people. Let me
this
say
to the
this to
people.
the people.
We're
We're
not
not
prejudiced
prejudiced
or
No,
anything like
anything
that.
like that.
You know
no,
You
what?
know what?
Because there was
Because
a
there was a
color
color
barrier
barrier
back
back
in
then.
the
right.
South, with
All
all due
due
respect.
respect.
But I can
But I
say
can say
Bumpy
Bumpy
Jones,
Jones,
they had a
they had a
number
number
scheme.
scheme.
And it was
And it was
bad, but
bad,
they
but
made
they
it
made it
legal.
legal.
Why?
Why, brother?
I
But I
got
got
some
some
answers
answers
to
some
some
other
other things.
things.
You said why they made it legal?
Well,
Well,
I'm saying
I'm
when
saying when
Bumpy
Bumpy
Jones
Jones
did it,
did
it
it,
was
it was
evil.
evil.
It was
It was
vilified.
vilified.
Okay,
Okay,
when he
when
was
he was
running
running
numbers.
numbers.
Because he was making more money off the numbers than them. That's why I was evil. Bumpy was making more money off the numbers than them because he was dealing with his people. It might have been because our people, our color was really putting the money into running them numbers more than white people. But it has something to do with the dollar. Everything had something to do with the dollar. And if he was making more money than them, they had to try to find a way to knock him down. So yeah, it was evil to them because they wanted to incarcerate him so they could probably take his cut or his money of his land or what he was getting.
Mm-hmm. And you know
You
what? You
know
got
what? You got
something in
something
here,
in here,
brother.
brother.
Let's see.
Let's see.
That was
That was
called the
called the
Nicaragua
Nicaragua
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Fairway.
Fairway.
Ricky
Ricky
Ross. Rick
Ross. Rick
Ross
Ross
exposed.
exposed.
Yet
Yet
it
it
led to
led to
a
a
major
major
reconstruction
reconstruction
of
of
many
many
government
government
agencies.
agencies.
So
So
it
it
went
went
down
down
in
in
history as a
history as a
conspiracy theory.
conspiracy theory.
Nothing was
Nothing was
proven about
proven
it.
about it.
You got to
You
comment
got
on
to
that.
comment on that?
He may be right. I don't. I have to look that up and Google it and see what it was called. So I can't speak upon it or what it was actually called. But I know one thing with Bumpy and what was going on back then. It was about the money too. Also, everything money is the root of all evil. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was. I really think it was because Bumpy. You know, a lot of the Italians back then with Bumpy and them, they had their hands in a lot of the black communities, drug game, numbers game, and everything.
Lucky
Lucky
Luciano.
Luciano.
Yeah, they had their hands in the black community. Then that's where they was getting most of their money from. So yeah, if one of us stood up and start messing with their money, they probably figured like anybody else, let me get him out the way and you can take over whatever he was doing and make more money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Through history, everything is all about the money. You know what I'm saying?
And going
And
back
going
to
back to
Larry
Larry
Hoover
Hoover
and Jeff
and Jeff
Ford,
Ford,
if they were
they
so
were so
evil
evil
and they were
and they were
vilified
vilified
and brought
and
to
brought to
justice,
justice.
how come
How
the
come the
people that were
people that were
shipping
shipping bodies
bodies back,
back
filled up
filled
with
up with
narcotics,
narcotics,
bringing it back
bringing
to
it
the
back to
states?
the
How come
states? How come they weren't
vilified,
vilified,
sent to
sent
jail,
to jail,
prosecuted?
prosecuted?
I want to
I
know,
want to know,
brother.
brother.
Educate.
Educate.
You mean body bags coming back from fighting over the war?
I'm talking
I'm
about
talking about
bodies
bodies
filled with
filled with
narcotics,
narcotics,
brother,
brother,
to
to
coming back
coming
from
back from
Vietnam,
Vietnam,
brother.
brother.
Why?
Why?
Why won't they
Why won't they
prosecute?
prosecute?
Why won't they
Why
send
won't
to
they
jail?
send to jail?
Because they was part of the government once again, the almighty government. You don't want to look. They don't want to look bad, and they don't want you make them looking bad. You know what I'm saying? And that could be a reason. Not to say they probably wasn't court-martialed, but that's not for us to see. That's they handle their own business within their own platoon or army or organization that they're in. But it goes back to the government. It's the government. If the government didn't want drugs in our neighborhood, it won't be none in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They got the power to stop it. They been had the power to stop what's coming through. You think them people didn't know it was drugs coming in them bodies after all them times they let them drugs come through? They known about that from higher up. Because where would you get the audacity and the balls to do that if you didn't have somebody in it with you
I'm talking about
higher up?
these
These
bodies was
bodies
on the
was on the
military
military
transport,
transport,
brother. Okay.
Government, the general, whoever else had something that had their hands in it, and it goes with the money, the kickback they get for that, bringing that up in there. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
I know
I
I'm
know I'm
asking you a
asking
lot
you
of
a lot of
questions, but
questions,
you
but
No,
you
I'm gonna answer. I'm trying to answer to the
I'm
best of my ability.
trying to
I'm
get
trying to get
educated, okay?
educated, okay?
But
But
what I
what I
really like
really
to
like
know
to
from
know
you,
from you,
how
how
is it
is
the gang bangers that live on the east side, south side,
south
west
side,
side of
west side of
Chicago,
Chicago.
break
Break
into a
into a
trailer
trailer
trunk
trunk
that's loaded
that's
with
loaded with
guns,
guns.
and
And
praise
praise
happen
happen
in the
in the
community.
community.
How the
How
hell
the
do
hell
they
do
know
they know
which
which
freight
freight
train to
train to
break
break
in and out?
in and out?
How do
How
they
do they
get the lock
get the
to the gun?
lock to
How
the
do
gun?
they
How
know
do
to
they
break
know to
in
break
to
in
the freight
to the
train
freight
that's
train
going
that's
down
going
that's
down
loaded
that's
with
loaded with
guns?
guns?
And
And
guess
all of a
what?
sudden, the freight train just stop in our neighborhood for hours and hours.
I'm asking you,
That's
educate
this
us.
all of a sudden this freight train full of high powered weapons just stop in our neighborhood for hours, a whole day, and give our people enough time to go in there and steal all these guns off and be out here shooting up in our community and shooting kids. The government, the police. Who else would let them people know this in there? We don't got X-ray vision, or did nobody pop the lock. If for somebody to know exactly what train card it is, and for this train card with all this stuff just to stop in our neighborhood for hours to let people rip it off, they that's a plant. That's called a plant. They putting plants in it. I didn't heard of in Maywood a state trooper that was out there selling guns for drugs. It was on the news. He supplied the whole neighborhood. He was part of the reason there was a lot of killings out there because he supplied a lot of guns. He worked for the police. He didn't go to jail neither. He out already, and he supplied a lot of guns. The government, the government put this stuff in our neighborhood because our neighborhoods are designed for poverty, and it's all a design for us to fail. And if you fall for that trap, then you fall for that trap. But it's the government that does that. It's the government that put this freight train in our neighborhood. It's the government that dropped these drugs off in our neighborhood. You're not seeing them drop it off in all white neighborhoods in Hillcrest, Glen Ellen, Bolingbrook. They got. Don't get me wrong, they got their little projects out there too. You know what I'm saying? They got their little projects and their little buildings and what they do, but it's not like in the city. It's not like out south. It's not like in the Lawndale area. It's not like up north. You know what I'm saying? In predominantly black neighborhoods. How are we getting this in here? And these are and it's supposed to be high powered weapons on a train that stops in your neighborhood for hours and hours. But it was one person out that neighborhood that know it's all type of high powered guns on there, and not everybody in the neighborhood got guns. That's the government, man. They gotta keep putting these plants. They keep putting these numbers on our head so they can keep putting us in jail. It's like a revolving door. It's like a rat trap. That's what you call it, a rat trap. You know what I'm saying?
Understand?
That's a rat trap.
Understand? And I
I know I got the
you
you
educating
educating
us.
us.
Okay.
Okay.
I know
I
the
know the
NSA
NSA
is
is
looking
looking
at
at
this,
this,
the
the
FBI,
FBI,
CIA,
CIA,
brother.
brother.
They
They
listen
listen
to
to
everything
everything
that
that
might
might
make
make
a
a
difference.
difference.
but
But
it's
but it's
okay.
okay.
Hey, it's okay. I'm
I'm
not
not
hiding. I'm not hiding, and never. And my family and growth and development has nothing to hide. We an open book.
But we don't do
We don't do
nothing against
nothing
the law
against the law
anyway.
anyway.
Nothing. I raised my daughter. I raised in growth and development. It's all righteous brothers and sisters that raise their kids and be a productive part of the of society and the community.
But don't
But
think
don't
they
think
can't
they can't
fabricate
fabricate
something.
something.
Oh, they always gonna try and fabricate
Huh,
it.
you ever hear
You
the
ever hear the
COINTELPRO,
COINTELPRO,
brother?
brother?
Yeah.
I want to
I want
ask
to
you
ask you
another
another
question.
question.
You see, what he's
What he's
doing
doing
is
is
he's
he's
educating. There
educating
are people that
people
out
that
here that do
do
not know
not know
these
these
facts that may
facts that
live
may
in
live in
great
great
communities,
communities.
and
And
they don't
they
know.
don't know.
They are
They are
oblivious to it.
oblivious to
And
it.
people
And people
outside of the
outside of the
United
United
States
States
may not
may not
always look at
always
this
look
as
at
being
this
the
as being an
American
American
dream.
dream.
We have
We have
problems here, but
problems here,
this
but
is the
this is
best
the
one.
best one.
I would like
I
to
would like
ask
to
you,
ask you,
brother,
brother,
how
how,
how is
how is
there's a
there's a
drug
drug
house
house
that has
that
been
has been
operating
operating
in the
in the
community
community
for 10
for
or
10 or
15
15
years.
years.
And little
And little
Johnny
Johnny
knows what a
knows what a
drug
drug
house
house
is,
is,
but the
but the
police don't.
police don't.
Can you
Can you
please
please
educate?
educate?
How can
How can
little
little
Johnny know
Johnny
what
know
a
what a
drug
drug
house
house
is
is
or where
or
to
where
buy
to
a
buy a
gun,
gun,
but the
but the
police
police
don't?
don't?
Educate
Educate
us.
us.
I wouldn't completely say the police don't know
Okay.
because just as well as if I ride past a drug house and you see some activity and you looking like, oh wow, they see it too. It's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they don't know. I think they just don't want to do nothing about it.
You pull
You
me over
pulled me
for a
over for a
ticket,
ticket,
though.
though.
You
You
pull me
pulled
over
me
for a
over for a
ticket
ticket
violation.
violation. What you're
Yeah.
saying is
You
you
pull me
pulled
over
me
for a
over for a
ticket
ticket
violation.
violation.
But you
But
know
you
it's a
know it's a
drug
drug
house
house
there.
there.
I don't
I don't
understand. I
understand.
need
I
you to
need you to
explain that
explain
to
that
me.
to
I
me.
don't understand.
They could still know it's a drug house there. Put a sweatsuit on a drug house. They could pull you over for a ticket because they probably seen you. It's easier for them to pull you over for a ticket and not suffer too much repercussions than sit there and follow proper procedures and protocols to go run and bust in the drug house.
Oh, they don't
You
want to do that.
it's procedures and protocols for them to even sit to get a warrant to even run up in there. So yeah, they might proceed with caution or act like they can't because they really can't. They can't just jump out the car and okay, I think they selling drugs in there and run up in their house. It might be I ran into a police officer that did that before and he was all the way wrong and I caught him in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you have to go. They have laws they have to abide by too, and it's whether they follow them or break them. So you know what I'm saying? Is like I said, that's their choice that they made when they wake up. You know what I'm saying? So it's procedures and protocols they have to have before they run up in somebody's house, and I think that's one of the reasons. And they just can't run in somebody's house because they see it's a drug house and spend all these taxpayer monies going to raid somebody's house and there's nothing in there but a crack pipe and people in there smoking crack. You ain't gonna. It's not worth their time. You know what I'm saying? They can
It's
catch
worth
that
their
person
time
on
to
the
give me.
street.
It's worth their
It's worth
time
their
to give
time
me a
to give me a
ticket, though.
ticket, though.
Okay,
Okay.
I got you. It's worth their
But
time.
now I'm not saying like it's not worth their time, but I'm let me take that back. They have to go through too much to run into somebody's house, and it's easy to pull you over and get a ticket. And like they have even have to sit and surveillance a house before they run up in there. It's laws now. They could get sued running in somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? I actually experienced that before, and the police ran in the house in the city on me, and they was all the way in the wrong, and they got sued because I wasn't even from the city. I'm from the suburbs,
Well,
but
you would do thorough investigation. But what
I
I was
was
saying
saying
is the
is
set
the
of
set of
circumstances
circumstances.
that
That
people.
people,
What I'm
what I'm
saying
saying
is
is
people in the
people in the
community
community
know
know
that
that
hell is
hell is
being
being
sold
sold
through a
through a
needle,
needle,
uh,
drugs, or
whatever they
whatever
got
they got
crack.
cracked.
The
The
police most
police most
certainly
certainly
must know.
must know.
yeah, they do know.
I'm gonna share
I'm share
this
this
story.
story.
This is
This
a
is
quick
a quick
story.
story.
I had a
I had a
friend that was
friend
a
that was a
police
police
officer,
officer.
and he went
He went
around
around
busting
busting
drug
drug
houses.
houses.
And you know
You
what?
know what?
One
One
day
day
his
his police
um, lieutenant,
lieutenant,
a
a
captain,
captain,
pulled him in
pulled
the
him in the
office.
office.
He said,
He said,
"Man,
"Man,
Jones,
Jones,
Alderman
Alderman
Jones, you're
Jones,
doing a
you're
good
doing a good
job
job.
busting these
Busting
drug
these drug
houses, but
houses,
you
but
made
you
one
made one
mistake.
mistake.
That
The
drug
drug
house you
house you
closed down
closed
this
down
time,
this
that was
time, that
mine."
was mine."
Oh, it's a lot of that out. It's a lot of
And
that.
you
And
know
you
what he
know what he
said?
said?
That could be part of the reason too. It's all type of scenarios why they don't stop that, or why they didn't run in there, or they might see, or it might be his brother that's running it, or something. You know, it's all type of reasons. You just can't think of just one reason why they just. But I know one reason why they just not running up in there now too, because you got you still in. You have to go through so much. They have to put your house on surveillance unless they actually seen you make a sale outside and then run into the house and they're in pursuit of a crime. Then that could give them any reason to run in the house after you if they're in pursuit. But just say they ride down the street and they see a bunch of drug addicts coming out and don't never find them with drugs on them. They just can't run up in there like that. They can't. I can't say they can, and I can say I won't. They're not supposed to, but I wouldn't say they can't. I say they're just not supposed to. They got laws they got to follow too. And then if they do break those laws, that's up to you to read up on your case, to read up on your laws or how you did wrong. Go back to your police reports and find the error or the inconsistency of their case, and come back and beat your case. And 9 times out of 10, when you catch them and they wrong, you could come back and sue them for incarceration, for you being incarcerated.
When at being a critical thing, I want to ask you something. If that's the circumstances, do you think that would still go down if they sold drugs on Mayor Daley's block? Lay up Lightfoot's block. President Obama's block. Okay. President Joe Biden's block. You think the same circumstances go down if they sold drugs on their block?
Not even. They gonna run up in there like wildfire. They ain't gonna wait for and if they did, for those type of high powered people, I don't think they would have to wait 30 days for a warrant or wait for a judge to give them a warrant. I think they just gonna run up in there. It's different circumstances on that. You know what I'm saying?
Am I not worthy of the same treatment? Because I'm a taxpayer and they work for me. Am I not worthy of the same treatment? If their son or daughter gets killed or robbed, they're gonna find them. Am I not worthy of the same treatment?
Yeah, you are worthy of the same treatment. And then if you're not getting the same treatment as that, and you got that drug house on your corner, go to your alderman, go to your mayor, go talk to them and let them know. Keep making noise. Keep complaining to your councilman. Keep complaining to the government that's a governor your neighborhood. Like when they say voting doesn't matter, voting does matter, especially in your neighborhood when you elect these aldermen and these and these people that run these communities. You got, and even if they don't do nothing, you still have to make some noise. You got to say something. You know what I'm saying?
I had to ask you a question about voting. Man, this is turning into a long interview. Because you know what you say voting. Go to y'all. Wait a minute. I would like to ask you to educate. If you're a politician and I give you $5 campaign contribution, that man gives you $100,000 campaign contribution, who's going to have more influence with all our state representative?
The one that gave him 100,000, he's gonna have a whole lot of influence, and I think that's where it's wrong. It don't matter how much a person gave you. They still supposed to listen and help their community out. So if that's the case with that elected official or that alderman, next time you vote, not to vote for him again because he's not nothing but for the dollar.
Brother,
he's not about his community.
Let me tell you their little tricks, brother. They find all type of technicalities to kick you off the ballot. They put two or three people in the campaign as dark horses. It wasn't meant for them to win. We got all type of little tricks, brother. I think you know that.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. They got all type of little tricks. They got tricks where they even go mess with the ballots and put their votes in, and it's crazy.
I'd like to ask you something, and you're educating us. Why are poor disenfranchised treated differently than the rich and powerful elite? For example, why is it once upon a time there used to be planes to fly over communities and deposit chemtrails in poor and disenfranchised communities, but they never did it in Beverly Hills?
I think it has a lot to do with
chemtrails some people don't know
are
are
chemicals that are coming out of a plane
and
being
being
deposited
deposited
in a
in a
certain
certain
community.
community.
Why is that done in certain
They
communities?
do a lot of things in our community, a lot of wrong in our community, and to destroy our people. Because for one, I think highly of population control and population control, and they don't want to see us outnumber them in our community. It's a lot. It has a lot to do with population control. So, and I really think that has no color. Then with population, if you black or white, if you get caught in the rafters of what they doing to try and knock human beings off, then you get caught in it. It has no color with population control. You know what I'm saying?
Would you
Would you
say
say
that
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 statement
statement
holds
holds
true
true
when
when
they?
they
Oh, my battery is going out. Excuse me. Must be the
NSA
my battery is
battery
going
is going
out and
out.
it's
It's
plugged up,
plugged up,
brother.
brother.
Must be the
Must be the
government.
government.
But
But
we
we
talking
talking
too much
too much
heavy
heavy
stuff.
stuff.
Now,
Now,
ask you
ask you
something.
something.
How
How
could
could
your
your
battery
battery
go
go
low
low
on
on
your
your
computer,
computer?
and you got
You got
your
your
computer
computer
plugged
plugged
into
into
an
an
outlet,
outlet,
and you
and
got
you
light
got a light
shining, and
shining, and
it's
it's
coming
coming
from
from
the
the
same
same
outlet.
outlet.
They
Because
can't
we
stop
shining too much light right now, so they want to dim yours. You know what I'm saying? When you start, when you say stuff to start to wake up the masses, or you say stuff to try and educate people on what's going on, there's always a wrench thrown in somewhere.
Well, we being
Being
watched
watched
anyway.
anyway.
But you
You
know
Yeah.
know what
one of my
one of my
brothers
brothers
said?
said?
He said,
Said,
"Man, they've
man,
been
they've been
watching me
watching me
since I
since I
came out of
came
my
out of my
daddy's
daddy's
scrotum."
scrotum.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
use
gonna
other
use other
words.
words.
I've been used to that all my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been used to it all my life. It's nothing new to me. They could keep watching because I got nothing to hide. I'm not doing anything illegal. Nobody's I be around. Nobody I show a picture or a post or anything. No, the Hoover's not doing nothing illegal. Nobody I'm around doing nothing illegal. You can watch all you want. We're an open book. So it's nothing to hide. But we gonna always speak the truth. We ain't gonna lie. We gonna talk. We can talk about what's going on because you're doing it to us.
Mm-hmm. I must
I must
ask you a
ask you a
critical
critical
question, and
question.
you
And
know
you
what?
know what?
This is
This
not
is
to
not to
put
put
somebody
somebody
down,
down,
to try
to
to
try to
destroy
destroy
somebody.
somebody.
I would like
I
to
would like
ask
to
you a
ask you a
question, being
question.
a
Being a
critical
critical
thinker.
thinker,
They said
they said
Larry
Larry
Hoover
Hoover
and Jeff
and Jeff
Ford,
Ford,
leader of the
leader of the
GDs and
GDs and
gangster
gangster
disciples at one
disciples at
time.
one
They
time.
were
They were
evil. They
evil.
were
They were
bad
bad
people.
people.
I want to
I
know.
want to know.
They say they
They say they
killed
killed
innocent
innocent
people,
people.
and they say
They
it's
say
wrong
it's
to
wrong
kill
to kill
innocent
innocent
people.
people.
I would like
I
to
would like to
ask you,
ask you,
why did he
why did
drop
he
an
drop
A
an A
bomb
bomb
on
on
Nagasaki
Nagasaki
in
But
Japan?
they're not evil though, right?
In
in
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima?
I would
I
like to
would like to
ask you.
ask you.
But they're not evil. They're not evil. They.
I'm asking.
I'm
I'm
asking.
asking.
No, I'm saying, but they right. That's what I'm saying. But they're not evil, right?
But see, the
The
crowd.
crowd,
See the
see the
crowd.
crowd,
People that
people
are
that are
listening.
listening.
I am
I am
asked
asked
to get
to get
understanding
understanding
and
and
clarity
clarity
from
from
this
this
gentleman.
gentleman.
If
If
therefore
therefore
was
was
evil
evil,
and
and
Larry
Larry
Hoover were
Hoover were
evil,
evil,
gang
gang
members in
members in
Chicago,
Chicago,
what
what
about? And they
about?
said
They said
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 consistently
consistently
don't
don't
kill
kill
innocent
innocent
people,
people,
but they
but they
dropped the
dropped the
bomb on
bomb on
Nagasaki
Nagasaki
and
and
Hiroshima
Hiroshima
in
in
Japan.
Japan.
Can you
Can you
correct me, brother,
brother,
if
if
I'm
I'm
wrong?
wrong?
Correct me.
Me.
No, you're right.
I'm
I'm
trying to
trying to
understand.
understand.
You're right. And once again, that's the government. They do what they want. They could tell you what they could criticize and tell you what to do all day, but they've been doing this for years. They've been killing off people for years. They've been killing our people for years. You can't do what we do. That's their motto, basically. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover being evil in life, and I wanted to reiterate on that too, like they can't put everything or that happens in the street on these brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They can't put crime. They can't put killing. These brothers never gave orders out to do none of that that's going on today. They can't keep putting that on them. They'll keep trying to put it on them to keep them in jail. But if they couldn't fit these people, that's just like you raising your son and he go out and he kills somebody and they gonna say it's your fault. Why is it your fault? You didn't pull the trigger. You didn't tell him to go kill that person. So why should you carry that weight on your shoulders? Or why should somebody put that weight on these brothers' shoulders if they didn't get no order to do nothing like that?
You know, the other thing is if Jeff and Larry Hoover is so evil and wrong according to them, I'm not even going to say them are, because you know what everybody that's listening know. How did they implement a Patriots Act after 9/11 and took away civil liberties of people? Where they watch consistently, knowing what library books checked out, knowing what they on Twitter, knowing what you did on Facebook.
But they can't catch this person that just shot somebody on the corner with a camera right above your head.
Are they good? Is it good? Is the Patriots Act good to be able to watch and take away the civil liberties of the people? And I don't think the ACL thinks that, but I want to see what you think about it.
No, I don't think it's good because you're invading people's privacy. I don't want to just be sitting in the living room and the government just could come in and watch me while I'm watching my TV. You're invading my privacy, isn't that it? Don't you have the right to privacy in your own home, or certain privacy of what book you're taking out? Why are they trying to be so knowledgeable of what we doing with our time? You know what I'm saying? If they concentrate more on the crime that's going on instead of watching people, the crime would probably go down. But once again, like I'm saying, they don't want the crime to go down because they're making money off of it. It's a machine. It's a United States. It's a company. It's a machine. So I don't like the Patriot Act because that's an invasion of privacy. You know, how can you give a person their constitutional rights and then take it away? And how can you give a person constitutional rights and write what's in the Constitution and then not abide by the Constitution on it? It only applies to certain skin colors.
We're talking about things like this people being evil. They're supposed to be so good loving. Why have they went in and toppled governments like Libya? Okay. Tried to get rid of Castro. Okay. If that's so good, brother, I would like for you to ask you to get clarity and understand.
Anything.
Other reasons they have went in and put in their puppet governments to maintain control and by force if necessary. But they're supposed to be good. Help me to understand.
Anything the government does, the United States does, going over invading other people's countries and getting in their business, it got something to do with money. It goes right back to the root of all evil. Do you think they would be trying to police other countries if they wasn't benefiting off of that? Somehow they're benefiting off of that. They're not doing it for free. This is a machine. This is a company. This is a United States is a company. Whatever they do is money behind it. It's money behind the reason. So if they go invade Libya or other countries, it's either you messing up their money or they want what they got.
I like to ask you about Obama. You know what? I'm not gonna put down Obama. Okay. I have to believe that there's a structure above him that calls those shots.
Yeah,
You know,
it was obvious. Did you can see that, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I would
But
like
I
to
would like to
ask
ask
you, if we so
you, so
loving,
loving.
and
And
Omar
Omar
Gaddafi,
Gaddafi,
people that
people
don't
that
know,
don't know,
he was
he
the
was the
leader
leader
in Libya.
in Libya.
And you know
And
what
you
the
know what the
literacy rate
literacy
had
rate
went
had
down.
went down.
If we so
We so
good,
good.
why
Why
do we
do we
send out
send out
and send
and
in
send in
CIA
CIA
operatives
operatives
to
to
top
top
Gaddafi?
Gaddafi?
And he
And
was
he was
dragged in the
dragged in the
streets.
streets.
And you know
And you
what?
know what?
Obama
Obama
took
took
the
the
blame,
blame,
but
but
I
I
don't
don't
believe
believe
it.
it.
He
He
said
said
that was
that
the
was the
biggest
biggest
mistake
mistake
I
I
ever
ever
made.
made.
What was
What
your
was your
opinion
opinion
about
about what
what
happened
happened
to
to Gaddafi?
Gaddafi?
And if we
And
are
if we
so
are so
good,
good,
why did we
why
do
did we
that?
do that?
Why did we
Why
do
did we
that to
do that to
Libya?
Libya?
And they had
And they had
modern day
modern day
slavery in
slavery in
Libya,
Libya.
right?
It's either he was going to hurt the government in some type of way, the dollar, or we all never really gonna know the appropriate reason or the right reason why they did it.
Oh, I
Oh,
got
I
an
got an
But
idea.
idea. I read.
I got an
I got
idea.
an idea.
But go ahead.
Go ahead.
um, I think it has something to do with him, money, money, and every. I just know from history, everything has something to do with money. I'm not fully endowed on the reason why they did it, but I guarantee it has something to do with the dollar.
Well, he was
Well, he
going to
was going to
convert
convert
over
over
to
to
get gold
get
and
gold and
convert over
convert
to
over to
the dinar.
Something to do with the dollar, and that would have brought the value of our money down, wouldn't it?
Pop,
Pop,
yeah.
yeah.
But you know
But you
what?
know what?
But one
One
thing he
thing
wanted
he
to
wanted
do
to do
is
is
he wanted
he
to
wanted to
unite
unite
the
the
diaspora,
diaspora,
the
the
whole
whole
continent
continent
of
of
Africa, so
Africa,
they
so
were
they
not
were not
dependent
dependent
and
and
subordinate to
subordinate to
powers
powers
outside of
outside of their
that
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 reach
reach
out that
out
part
that
of the
part of
world.
the world.
So you would be cutting the government out on what they're getting out of Africa, or what they're mining diamonds or whatever resources they're getting out of Africa. Yeah, he had to go because now you cutting into their money. Like it's like I said before, if you follow the pattern of the United States, why they do what they do, it has something to do with money.
Okay.
When it all come down to it, it got something to do with money with them.
You know, I
You know,
kind
I
of
kind
think
of think
Joe
Joe
Biden
Biden
is all
is
right.
all right.
I kind
I
of
kind
think
of think
because you know
because you know
what?
what?
He
He
left
left
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
He let
He let
the other
the
group
other
take
group
over,
take over,
and
and
he's
he's
letting
letting
more
more
Muslims
Muslims
come
come
to
to
the
the
United
United
States of
States of
America.
America.
So
So
Obama,
Obama,
to the
to the
enemy
enemy
that's
that's
listening
listening
out
out there,
there, I'm talking
I'm
about
talking
Joe
about Joe
Biden is
Biden
all
is
right.
all right.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. I want to say he's all right, but like okay, yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
He's not
He's not
listening to
listening to
Fox
Fox
television.
television.
And I think it was right for him to pull our soldiers out of their country because I mean, what if their country did it to us? That'd be, you know what I'm saying? And so you got soldiers over there fighting over there. You got soldiers over there fighting for nothing.
But you
They
make it sound
dying for nothing.
make it
Make
sound
it
like
sound like
Vietnam, brother.
Vietnam, brother.
It pretty much, and I salute to all our soldiers. I salute to the brothers and sisters that put their life on the line. You know what I'm saying? For our country, and yeah, man, it's hard to say because I got a lot of people that's in the military that went in the military, and I honor them for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard to speak on. That so like that situation, I don't want to get too deep into that because I honor the people that went there and put their life on the line for us.
And that's
And
all.
that's
And
all.
you know
And you
what?
know
And
what?
that's
And that's
all
all
good.
good.
But you
But
know
you know
what?
what?
Back in,
Back
and
in,
we're gonna
and we're
talk
gonna
about
talk
be
about
up now,
BM
later on.
later on.
You don't
You
think
don't
that
think that
Ali took
Ali
the
took
right
the right
stance?
stance?
Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali.
Ali.
What you
Yeah, I
think?
think he took the right stance.
You know.
And you always got to take the right stance for what you believe in, even if it is consequences of going to jail or whatever. You always take you got to fight for what you believe in. Just like I believe in growth and development, and believing one day that Mr. Hoover will, and he is going to have his feet on the ground, and that all the brothers and sisters are going to get a righteous and positive uh, train of thought and do what's right. And I have I have a lot of hope for our people, man. I just really think we're gonna wake up. It seems like the momentum is shifting towards our people waking up and uniting because it's a lot of us older ones right now that's together. Like I got boots on the ground out here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dealing with brothers and sisters in the street from all sorts of organizations. You know what I'm saying? I no longer call them gangs, the older one gangs, because they're not out here gang banging anymore. They're being productive citizens and going to get jobs, taking care of their parents, take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? On their growth and development. So, I'm knowing this. The momentum is changing. The movement is growing. You know what I'm saying? And
I love to get
I love to get
involved in one of
involved in
y'all
one of
panel
y'all panel
discussions when y'all
discussions when
have
y'all
one.
have one.
yeah.
But
But
you know
No,
what?
I rarely, to tell you the truth, I rarely do interviews. Rarely, but you a good brother, and you about really the first one I've done, and I just wanted to also like like I don't have a whole lot like to discuss because T laid it down the whole thing, and they could go back and watch what is it 5 parts.
It's five. I made it into five parts.
5 parts of what, like anything you want to know, growth and development or history about what went on. Watch that 5 parts that they did the other day with T. Lamar Hood. It was good. I mean, it was really good, and I just want to get up here and just really piggyback off of him and of letting people know that like growth and development has nothing to hide. Nothing. There's no gang activities. There's no doing wrong. I mean, everybody I know in the world is moving towards that movement that they want Mr. Hoover out of jail. So people are really cleaning their lives up and showing this on the internet, giving back to the community. I'm talking about not just Chicago. I'm talking about all over the world, in Kentucky, Missouri, Atlanta, and on the teachings of the blueprint and Mr. Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I go back to like in order to have change or for people to think change that he's changed, we have to talk it. We have to put that energy out there instead of labeling him evil and what they labeled him. That's not the label we gave him, but that's the label we stuck with. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us. That's right. That's the label they gave him. But it's up to us to change that label on the strength because words are powerful. Those type of words will keep him in there because when it comes up in the media and these people, these judges and stuff looking at it and they gang all you with when you think about gangs, think about what all you think of behind it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why if he's changed, so we have to talk change as well when we speak of these brothers because words are so powerful. It'll have a person already judging you before you find out they really changed or what they done. So if he's been in there, he's changed. He's saying, I'm not gangster disciple, I'm growth and development. And he wants to live growth and development is living a positive and productive life and taking care of your kids. So why should I keep calling him a gang member or a gang leader? I'm going to call him a father. I'm going to call him a brother. I'm going to call him an uncle and a grandfather because that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? So
I think what we've done is shown that you have vilified them by the examples that we have given. They need to sit back and re-examine their own actions.
Exactly. Exactly.
That was the reason I was asking. They need to sit back and change their behavior perhaps with these Muslims that are coming from Afghanistan and coming to the United States. They can make the United States a better country. I mean, these are people that pray 5 times a day. Yet they observe Ramadan. Okay. And believe in the one God. And again, hooray for President Joe Biden. And thank you for not listening to Fox Television. I know the enemy is looking at this.
We don't have nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. They can look all they want. Keep looking. We want you to look because we want you to hear. We want you to hear and looking to see how Mr. Hoover has changed people's lives. Mr. Hoover has changed people's lives in jail and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So, you have if anybody needed a second chance or deserves a second chance, it's him. For a person that changed lives, thousands of lives all over the world, made people go back and re-educate themselves, go find better positions in life and take care of their kids. How can you keep a person locked up that can stop crime, that could change people's lives? I mean, I don't understand it, but I understand it because it's political. They keeping him locked up because he has the strength to gather, and he has the strength to unite people and make a difference in voting and changing the dynamic of politics. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the reason why they push movement? He had united gangs to vote as a block, and they destroyed that program because they were going to vote as a consolidated block for who they wanted it, and they destroyed it. Is that the reason why they destroyed Bush?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why they destroyed it. That's the because and then again, they in history has shown from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King, when you have the power to gather people in the masses of your own people, they get scared. They get scared. They scared of people like us because that's not what they want us to do. If they keep us divided, they get what they want. They get more crime. They get more money to come into to these jails. And it's all about the money. As long as they keep us divided, they're gonna make money. They keep us if we unite and we serve our own communities. We open up these stores in our own communities. We help people in our own communities, police our own communities. Like T Lamar Hood said, we represent what, the third of the dollar? The third of the dollar, right? Mm-hmm. So think about if we put all that money back in our community. Mm-hmm. Would the all-white community still flourish? And we need to stick together. I just want to ask one thing. You know how much people stick together? Have you ever seen it? How often do you see a Chinese man gas up in a black neighborhood? Tell me, when have you seen a Chinese man or Korean at the gas pump in a black neighborhood?
To be honest with you, I'm ashamed to say it. I'm 60 years old. I've never seen this.
Because they spend in their own neighborhoods or in the white neighborhoods where they got their stores at. They're not gonna come to our neighborhood and spend their money in our neighborhood. They don't think they worth it. That our stores are we worth enough for them to spend a dollar in our neighborhood. We don't get the respect going to their stores, spending our money, and they won't give us the same respect in return. So why don't we come together? All these people out here doing wrong. Put your money together, open up these stores, open up our own grocery stores, open up our own gas stations while you got them coming to our neighborhood. We got the money to do it. We got the resources to do it. But you don't we don't think of the same structure as they do because they help each other and loan each other money so they can keep opening up stores and pass it back to the next man after they repay it and help them open up a store and pass it back to the next man. But we don't think like that because we all in competition. We all in competition for that money. If we thought like that, like the Chinese, the Arab, the Indians, the Arabs, and Russians, and Polish, and all that, do you know how powerful our race will be? Do you know how much money will flourish through our communities? Do you know how much poverty will go down and people will start living at I'm not gonna say wealthy, but a lot of families, if we spend our own money and create our own and help our own communities, a lot of crime will stop. A lot of jobs. We could create our own jobs for our own people.
When you speak of that, and this might sound like a strange question that I'm going to ask you. How do you think that there are some people that Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford get to their hearts, but in their hearts, those people that they hold close to their hearts, they say they want Jeff Ford to be out of jail, Larry Hoover to be out of jail, but they would not benefit. I feel that they would lose power. Okay, that's like you saying I would help you, but I really in my heart it's not their will. I'm not doing it. Do you think there are some people like this that say that they want free, but they don't because they feel that they would lose power? Let's go.
I want to say yeah, and it's a lot of people in it now on the move and pushing the movement, and it's not listening to his wishes on what he doesn't want, what not his, but what the family doesn't want them to do, like associate him with any type of gang activity. For you to continue to do that after they ask to stop, you're hurting them. You're hurting the movement. So otherwise, that means you have another agenda, and it's not to help him get out, to put his feet on the ground. It's the profit or whatever agenda you have. But if you're not listening, if you don't look, learn, and listen, or and abide by and they're not telling nobody, they asking because they want Mr. Hoover home just as well as you do, much more. You know what I'm saying? So for you not to listen, yeah, you got a different agenda on mine, and it is not to help the cause. You hurting the cause.
I would like to reiterate that there are some people that close themselves in goodness, but in their hearts and minds, they have our other ulterior motives. And you can be surrounded by that. I might be surrounded by somebody that I think is a close friend, but they might be an enemy towards my move. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of people you run into like that. They got ulterior motives, but it's up to you to figure them out, because and you might not figure them out till it's too late. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's always, especially dealing with a big group of people, it's always somebody with ulterior motives other than what's in front of you or what you have to do, because they're profiting off of your incarceration, profiting off your movement, and it's about the money. So yeah, it's probably and it got to be, because there's always mutiny in the crowd. It got to be some people like that. That's why the family is so tight on how they are,
Mm-hmm.
on so tight of dealing with people, and they cautious of who they deal with because they know that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They know that also.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
And
some people say,
say,
And that would separate them from those that do, because it'd be hard to get next to them.
yeah. And some
and
people
some
say
people say
people don't
people
know
don't
what's
know what's
going on
going
in
on in
prison.
prison.
Believe me,
Believe me,
brother,
brother,
people
people
talk.
talk.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
I would
I
like
would
to
like to
ask you,
ask
would
you,
you
would
have
you
a
have a
specific
specific
message
message
that you would
that you
like
would
to
like
give
to give
Larry
Larry
Hoover
Hoover
and
and
Jeff
Jeff
Hoover
Hoover
to
to
encourage them?
encourage them?
Keep your head up.
Talk to them.
Talk to them.
Keep your head up, Mr. Hoover. Never stop swinging, Jeff Ford. Never stop swinging. You have to you have to keep doing what you teaching us. You've been in it this long. God gonna bring you home.
Mm-hmm.
God is gonna bring you home. Can nobody stop this? It's written. You're coming home, and you got family, friends, everybody that love you, and everybody's pushing for this movement. Never give up. Keep swinging, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Keep swinging, because we're not gonna stop swinging out here. We're gonna keep swinging. We're gonna keep doing what we got to do. We're gonna keep pushing this over the airwaves. We're gonna keep pushing this over the internet. We're gonna keep bringing the awareness to let people know the humane injustice on how this government is treating you. You're not you're a human being. You're a human being, and you're a citizen of the United States. So why doesn't the laws apply to you?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't the laws apply to you? So we're going to break the laws to keep you in jail. We're going to break the Constitution. The United States is going to break the Constitution in plain sight to keep you in jail. We're trying to bring awareness to how it's being treated, how the laws are not applying to these gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
and they are U.S. citizens. They've done their time and some. It's time for them to let them go, because right now you holding them hostage. That's what it is, being a
You're
political
saying
prisoner.
prisoners. Yeah.
Political prisoner that's being held hostage.
Mm-hmm.
A political prisoner, just like the judge that made the decision. It didn't. I think personally, it didn't go by nothing that other criteria that was set forth for the new law to let him out. Everybody else that was on this case that was out. So why didn't this law apply to him? You gotta. It's crazy. It's crazy. They lock you up for breaking the law, but then they break the law to keep you locked up.
Mm-hmm. And would you
And would
have a
you have a
message for?
message for?
We have
We
not
have not
talked
talked
about
about
women
women
prisoners.
prisoners.
There are
There are
women that
women
are
that are
incarcerated.
incarcerated.
And would you
And
have
would you
a
have a
message for
message
you
for you
women
women
that are
that are
incarcerated and
incarcerated
some
and
are
some
being
are being
misused
misused
by
by God?
guards? Would you have a
Would you have a
message for them?
message for them?
A message for the women that's being misused in prison.
And give the
And give the
women in
women in
prison
prison
encouragement.
encouragement.
Um, get into your God of your understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the blueprint has taught me. The blueprint is for women. The blueprint, you can pull it up online. Get into the blueprint. Get into the God of your understanding. Get into um change your ways instead of criminal activities. You got daughters out here that need their mothers that's being raised by men that can't raise a man can't raise a daughter, a woman just like a woman can't raise a man. You could try.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But your kids need you out here. It's not. It's hard to say because a lot of women, when they go to jail, man, they go to jail for doing something wrong. When they get some time, if they get time, they really did something wrong, because they really don't be trying to lock women up like that.
Talk to
Talk
them,
to
man,
them,
and give
man,
them
and give
some
them some
encouragement. And
encouragement. And
the
the
sisters that are
sisters that are
being
being
abused,
abused,
because
because
there are all
there are
type
all
of
type of
sexual
sexual
activities that go
activities that
on
go
in a
on in
women's
women's
prison.
prison.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
say
gonna
how
say
I
how I
know,
know, but
Well, if a
Well, if
woman
a woman
is
is
being
being
abused,
abused,
what do you
what do
do?
you do?
What do you
What do
do
you
up
do
there in
up
that
there in this
situation?
situation?
Man, that's hard to say, brother. Like, try and find some type of official in that, in that, because when you in jail, you in a whole nother community. You know what I'm saying? And try and find some type of official in that jail that you cool with, that you could talk to, that you could tell what's going on, and let them know that you're being abused by guards or however the case may be in there. You need somebody to reach out to. Don't just keep that under your hat. And because rape is and being abused is terrible for anybody, man or woman. Need to try and talk to some type of official or something. I can't really, I don't really have no answer in that, but put your trust in God. Talk to your God to understand what God tell you to do. That's what you got to do then. You know what I'm saying? Don't not listen to that little voice in your head, because that little voice that's talking to you, that's God within you. So God within you steer you towards the way to talk to this official. Say something. You can't, like, a closed mouth never get fed, and you never know until you say something to get yourself out there jam. You got to figure it out, but keep God first or whatever you do.
Sometimes, though,
Sometimes,
brother,
though,
when you
brother, when
talk
you
in
talk in
prison,
prison,
there's
there's
people that's
people that's
watching.
watching.
Then you get
Then you get
accused of being a
accused of being a
snitch.
snitch.
You know,
You
and
know, and
it's the
it's the
consequences for that,
consequences for
brother.
that, brother.
It's the consequences for, and I can understand. But if it's bodily harm being done to you and you have no capable way of stopping this,
Hmm.
well, do what you got to do. I wouldn't want to keep getting raped every day. And I'm not gonna worry about getting. I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm gonna be a snitch. You getting raped. You getting abused. Yeah, so I mean, you gotta stand up for yourself. You gotta stand up and be a man. You gotta stand up and be a woman. If you're being treated less than a human being treated like an animal. I mean, I know you say they could touch you in prison and whatever, but
Yeah.
what can you do, bro?
All I can say
All I
is
can
Now,
say is
I know you interviewing me, but I want to hear what you got to say because you stumped me on that one. I'm like, man,
all I can say is go to H
you know
house. You
what,
know what,
brother?
brother?
The problem is I got
Is
a
I got
little
a
stick
little
note
stick
that
note
my
that my
battery is
battery is
going out,
going out,
and that's
and that's
funny
funny.
because I can
Cause I
say
can say
my
my
computer
computer
is
is
plugged
plugged
in
in
to a
to a
power
power
source.
source.
That's
That's
interesting.
interesting.
NSA is
NSA is
something else.
something else.
We must
We
be
must be
talking too
talking too
much,
much,
brother.
brother.
Because you know
but
what?
I just want to say too, go to Hoover Enterprise, go to Free My Father, go get you a T-shirt, all the other products you see when you hit the site, or remember, go get you a T-shirt, Free My Father, .com, I believe it is, or Hoover Enterprise. You can pull up Free My Father. It's gonna come up in Google. Just follow the site and pick your size and get you a shirt. Support. And and as for the little dudes out there, the little guys that's out there keep putting his name in vain. Please stop. I mean, please stop. He wants no part of that gang activity. He wants no more part of the drug activity. He's trying to get home to his family. And the more and more you keep doing that, and you knowing that whatever you do, and you say his name, or you flick a fork, or say and own any of that, they putting that weight on that man. Stop. You won't want to do it to your father. You want to do it to your grandfather. So let him come home. Let his name rest. If it's not in the righteous way and you're not giving back food or you're not doing it in the righteous way of growth and development, stop.
Hmm.
Stop. Because he's not gangster disciple anymore.
Hmm. And I got
And
to, I got to
I
put
got
my
to put
little
my little
plug in.
plug in.
Go ahead.
Okay. And I would
And
like
I
to
would like to
ask
ask
people
people
if you
if you
enjoyed this
enjoyed this
broadcast.
broadcast.
I would like
I
to
would like to
ask you
ask
to
you to
share it
share it
and
and
support
support
Larry
Larry
Hoover
Hoover
and
and
Clifton.
Clifton.
And
And
I'm
I'm
asking
asking
so I
so
can
I
make
can
my
make my
platform
platform
better
better
if you
if
can
you
make
can
a
make a
donation
donation
to
to
help
help
this
this
platform
platform
to
to
grow.
grow.
And
And
I say
I
that
say that
humbly
humbly
because I'm gonna
because I'm gonna
see my
see
little
my little
PayPal
PayPal
thing
thing
in the
in the
page.
page.
All I'm
All I'm
trying
trying
these
these
this is
this is
the
the
type
type
of
of
content
content
that
that
I
I
want
want
to
to
deal
deal
to
to
disseminate
disseminate
information to
information
help
to help
people that
people
are
that are
downtrodden,
downtrodden,
people that
people
are
that are
lost,
lost,
people that
people
have
that have
lack of
lack of
knowledge.
knowledge.
And I know
And I
I'm
know
still
I'm
in
still
that
in
word
that
those
word, those
words,
words,
greater
greater
people,
people,
but
but
we
we
need
need
help.
help
Any type
any
of
type of
donation.
donation.
Is that
Is that
okay for
okay
me to
for
say
me to
that?
say that?
Hey, this is your podcast. This is your podcast. I'm just a guest.
Okay,
I'm just a guest.
okay,
Okay,
but
but
I need
I
help
need
in
help
their
in their
endeavor.
endeavor.
But you know
But
what?
you know
So
what? So
far,
far,
Allah
our
has
lives
been
been
supplying the
supplying the
needs.
needs.
And we do
And
a
we do a
TV
TV
show
show
called The
called The
Underground
Underground
Railroad. It
Railroad.
comes
It
on
comes
every
on every
Saturday night
Saturday
at
night,
10:30
10:30
p.m.
p.m.
Central
Central
Time on
Time on
Can
Can
Television.
Television.
I got to
I
get
got to
you in the
get you in the
studio,
studio,
brother.
brother.
No problem. Just call me. I'm coming.
But man, but
Man, but
I just
We could chop it up.
okay. And you
and you
share
share
this, and I
this, and
hope
I hope
if it's
it's
Allah's
Allah's
will
will.
that this is
This
not
is
the
not the
last
last
time
time
that we
that we
talk.
talk.
And
And
No, it's not.
whatever
whatever
information you
information
give me to
you give me to
disseminate.
disseminate.
Hey man,
Man,
hope
hope
we build
we
a
build a
relationship,
relationship.
and
Yes,
And I
sir.
hope it'll
hope it'll
be
be
symbiotic
symbiotic
relationship
relationship
and never
and
be a
never be a
one-sided
one-sided
relationship.
relationship.
I'll run
I'll
away
run
then.
away then.
But
Hmm.
But
I hope
I
that it
hope
can
that
be a
it can be a
symbiotic
symbiotic
relationship.
relationship.
Just
Just
genuine,
genuine.
you know.
You know.
So you
So
have
you
any
have any
finishing
finishing
words
words
that
that
you
you
would
would
like to
like to
say
say
to the
to the
people?
people?
Because we've
Because
been
we've been
on,
on
almost two
almost two
hours and a
hours and a
half.
half.
Wow. Yeah. Look, once again, like let growth and development is an open book. Growth and development has nothing to hide. Growth and development is not a game. We're family, a tight family, and we love Larry, and we want to see him home. And we're not going to be out here committing any crime or anything because we're living in our growth and development. So that means we're living a righteous way. And um I just want hello.